we have to correct it.
All right.
It's Pike Street.
Oh my God.
Because Pike's Place. Hey, we're seeing online that you're the Pike Place Drummer, and if you want to be the Pike Place Drummer, you have to sign this contract, or you have to give us half of your money. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing either or. I think when it comes to the perception that people have possibly of black music, there's this negative connotation to it somehow.
Let's get back to this.
Yeah, no problem.
You are the Pike Place Drummer.
Well, we have to correct it.
All right.
It's Pike Street.
Oh my God.
No, because Pike's Place, when I first got out there, I was a Pike's Place drummer, and their marketing department came up and approached me. They were like, hey, we're seeing online that you're the Pike Place Drummer, and if you want to be the Pike's Place Drummer, you have to sign this contract, or you have to give us half of your money. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing either or.
So now let me break in here before we get too much further.
Yeah.
All right, give me the rundown. Age, full name, birth date.
Got it.
Give it all.
All right. Age, I'm 43. Full name is Byron Christopher Anderson. Everybody calls me Chris. You said age, birthday.
That's all.
Okay, cool. Yeah, from Chicago,
We don't have to
Illinois,
run
born
down
and
through
raised.
the whole thing.
Yeah. Born and raised in Chicago. Go Bears.
Yeah.
You got to
Eagles.
say it with it. Yeah, man. And
Cubbies or White Sox?
everybody in Chicago is a Cubs fan. They just can't afford the tickets. So everybody is a Sox fan by trade. Sox tickets, you can give them like a pack of Newports and a stick of gum and get in the stadium.
Well, I call them Mets up in New York, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but in Philly, we're just Philly.
Me and my homies used to ride up to Champaign, Illinois to go to Notre Dame. They had the best parties on campus. Yeah. So
Like touchdown Jesus.
Yeah,
You know? And then, but nowadays it's, I don't know, in today's football, there's not a lot of Jesuses playing that game.
Nah.
But there are a lot of guys, pardon me, I'm sorry to break into you there.
No problem.
But I have some friends of mine that are like all anti-religion, right? So I'm not a big religious guy, but I think, you know, as I get older, I admire some people because I meet them and they have a faith that I'm like, damn, I wouldn't mind having that.
Yeah.
You know? But so at the end of the game, a lot of these guys will thank God.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other friends of mine, I was watching a game the other night and he's like, that's bullshit. Why is he referencing God? You know, we don't need that right now in our culture. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
It's just, yeah, you know, I don't know. But I grew up like Baptist. My mom was a Baptist. And, man, we were at church 5 days a week and then 24 hours on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
not a lot of choice.
Yeah. So I was always like raised religious, and then as I got older, you know, I started getting interested in other things because, like, you know, I had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And so now I know, you know, there possibly could be a God, and there is a God. Like something's driving and protecting me, you know, through certain situations. Because I've been in a lot of situations that are like, you know, there's no way you could have lived from that situation. But my mom passed like 5 years ago. And so I've actually been just, you know, when I go out on Pike Street, before I start playing with my drum sets and all set up, I take these 2 incense and I light them and I walk around my drum set 3 times and I send her a prayer saying, thank you for, you know, how you raised me, the stuff you instilled in me. Because without her direction in my life, I probably wouldn't be in the position I am. So I give her the praise.
Yeah, as
And
well
so-
you should.
Yeah, and when it's cloudy days or it's raining, I do that prayer. The sun breaks out.
Yeah.
And so and that's been like a reoccurring thing. So I'm like, yo, I'm praying to my mom.
Yeah. I saw you do work with people in recovery.
Yeah.
I've been in recovery for 37 years as of this month. And in that instance, they asked that you pray to something.
Yeah.
Like you said. We don't care what it is.
Yeah.
And so I just come to the conclusion that can't be me.
Yeah. It's a high power.
You know, there's something there. There's something
Now,
there.
is he sitting on a gold throne with It's debatable.
Yeah,
But
and we
something's
have
out there.
St. Pete's up the door,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when you get up there, you got to talk to him.
Yeah.
And he either lets you in or lets you out.
Yeah.
And my big joke with my friends is, I don't think there's like three. I hope there's not like three really good guys ahead of me, and then they get to me and they're like,
Yeah. So, a hole opens up in the floor.
My friends say it just starts getting warm at your feet.
Yeah.
And into eternity for the rest of your damn, and it's hot,
Yeah, I heard.
and for a whole eternity.
Yeah,
That's
like
long.
every day.
I mean, damn, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So now back to you. I just want to, hear about, I know you had a Baptist upbringing. You started playing some drum. Just tell me about that. Tell us about that.
So yeah, I grew up playing drums in the church, and church musicians are really like skilled. And so every Sunday, also our family ran the church. So like all the cousins, the aunties, and the uncles, and my uncle was the pastor. All my aunties were like, one auntie was the first lady, and then my mom was like a missionary, and all my uncles were like deacons, and all of their kids, we were like the choir and the musicians. And so we would rehearse like all the time because we were at church like 3-4 times a week. And so the kids would be upstairs in the sanctuary playing the instruments and stuff, and all the parents and stuff would be in their church business meetings and stuff. And so we spent a lot of time growing up as musicians. A lot of us were not trained. We all just played by
doing
ear.
your thing.
Yeah, just picked it up, and then as we grew older, we started to get better at the instruments we were playing. And so that upbringing in church allowed me to play in the music industry. But before I got in the music industry, I was in college. I was going to college for fashion design and then interior design, and I switched it over to photography because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. But there was this all-brass band named Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. And so they were 9 blood brothers from Chicago. Their father, his name was Phil Coran, and he used to teach.
Blood brothers being by blood, not like a Crip or something like that.
No. They were blood brothers.
Because we had a guy on here the last time, and he's like, a couple times ago, and he's like, I was raised in L.A., and I'm like, the Crips and the Bloods and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, I had access to that when I was a kid in Philly,
Yeah.
But those folks scared the shit out of me. I got out of town when they were around.
Yeah.
So, so this is not...
No, these are biological brothers
from
one guy. So yeah, their father, Phil Coran, taught like Earth, Wind, and Fire and like Shaka Khan and like Sun Ra, all these cosmic type artists. They all used to go to his like he had like a studio on the south side of Chicago. And so he was like in the astrology and metaphysics and math and science.
All right.
And how your instruments sent out vibrations and you can control people and put them in a trance with your music. It was deep, man. Shit. But
people like, woo!
Yeah, no, like for real. It like worked though. We would spend like hours in a room, and he would be talking about astrology and stuff and vibrations of how brass and vibrations work. And we would take that knowledge and we would write songs and put them in different Moorish modes and syncopations and
Morris, you got me sideways. Just but whatever. Just quickly,
Yeah.
what the hell is that?
Moorish modes it's a style of song. So kind of like country is a style, rock is a style.
Oh yeah.
And it has its certain tones and certain melodies and certain cadences. Like a Moorish mode is almost a trance type of mode. And so we would implement that Moorish mode into our hip hop jazz fusion sound.
Okay.
And so we would put those songs in our shows, and real talk, like people would be in like trances, and like we could take them anywhere in the musical journey in our show. And so, but I
get
dropped
some money from them. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. That was the whole point. We love music, but it was the money that was fun and everything.
Isn't it always? Follow the bouncing money.
Yeah. So I dropped out of college and joined that band because they were always street performing in front of my college. And I was like, man, these guys are dope. I asked them one day if they needed a drummer. They were like, yeah, our music's kind of, it's out there. If you can hang with it, you can hang with it. I had played in the church, so I had played with all types of musicians.
Yeah. So
once I got with them, I fit like a glove. And then we started street performing around Chicago, and people were like, you guys should go to New Orleans doing Mardi Gras. And so we went to New Orleans doing Mardi Gras. We got to New Orleans, everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? where are you guys from? Because we didn't sound like New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, not at all.
We didn't sound like anything really. And we took over
They
New
didn't
Orleans.
revolt.
Yeah, they were mad at us in New Orleans. We stayed in New Orleans probably like 2 months. We just went there for Mardi Gras, and it was so good, the response we got. Like our third day there, somebody from the House of Blues, New Orleans, was like, yo, you guys want to open up? I think we opened up, I can't remember who we opened up for.
Miles Davis.
Nah, it was like, it might have been the B-52s. Yeah. I think
that was early in my.
Yeah.
That was the music that when I think it was in college. Everybody was like doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Getting all shit faced and whatever, just being stupid kids.
Yeah.
But anyway, so B-52s. It's a little bit of a break from the two methodologies.
Yeah. It was definitely different. And when we started playing that show, I remember the crowd looking at us like, what the fuck is this? You got 9 black guys playing fusion jazz, hip hop. They couldn't understand it, but by like the third song, people's heads were exploding, in the crowd.
You didn't go into any of the Bible stuff and get them to like trance and give you a shitload of money.
No. They weren't. Those guys weren't Bible based. They were more Afrocentric.
Okay.
Like I was like, Egyptian pyramids.
Yeah.
Connecting stars. You know what I mean? So all their names are stars too. So it was deep. It was a deep little group I was there. You go from Baptist to just like, pyramid building.
Yeah.
It's like
covering the whole because I remember I went down there a lot for work. I sold in the coffee industry.
Mm-hmm.
So down there they had that coffee and chicory. I don't know if you ever had that.
Nuh-uh.
Tastes like shit. The coffee and chicory used to be.
What's chicory?
Chicory. Okay, now calm down. I do history.
Okay.
You just sit back.
Cool.
All right. So when the French were in New Orleans, right? The price of coffee started going up.
Mm-hmm.
So the French are like, we need some shit to extend coffee, right? I could put a quarter pound in. I need another quarter pound, to make it all work. But in order to call it coffee, it had to be 49 chicory, 51 coffee.
They're cutting coffee.
Yeah. So cutting it. Yeah, they're just being smart. And, needless to say, the French are running it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a bitter root from some fucking thing. I should probably know, but it's a little root. And I think it tastes like shit, but they put it in their coffee. So if you go down there, and they'll say, do you want whatever the fuck it was called, coffee chicory, or you go into the lobby and there'd be coffee. You didn't know it.
Yeah.
So you pick it up and you'd be like, oh shit. And the people around you would be like, well, what's wrong? It's coffee and chicory. So I'd be like, well, it's horrible. But so you never had coffee and chicory?
No, if it's making you do that.
Well, you don't learn it till you do it.
Oh, okay. I'm not ever trying it there.
Yeah. Because it was big in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
And when you get too far in, you don't have to get too far. I was all over Alabama, Georgia, the whole thing. And it's a different world.
Yeah. No, definitely.
As a Yankee. And they would tell me I'm a Yankee. They'd say, I hear a Yankee out there. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm a Yankee. And they'd be like, well, you know what you are? You're a Yankee if you're visiting. You're a damn Yankee if you stay. And I would be like, I know every flight out of here.
Yeah.
I know every flight out of this place. So anyway, we're back to New Orleans for you.
So yeah, we just stop in New Orleans and then we go to like LA and then we go back to Chicago. And so Chicago money for us at the time, at the end of the day, we were probably splitting amongst us 45 to $60.
Right, so it ain't a whole lot.
It ain't a lot. It's also Chicago. It's we're playing in the wintertime, so there's snow up to our elbows. It's below zero. Their horns are like sticking to their lips. It's like harsh environments. It's either hot. It's 3 seasons in Chicago. It's hot, cold, and construction. And so you either got super hot or super cold. And so we're in those elements playing. And somebody was like, man, you guys should go to New York. And so all the money we made, we put it back into the music. We would reproduce our CDs. And we would sell
a shitload of money.
Yeah, well, at the time it wasn't. So the little money we made, we would take $200 off the top and get CDs and reproduce them and split the rest between us. Then we would go out the next day, sell the CDs, split the money between us.
And you could, I read somewhere you get like $300 a day out.
Not in Chicago at the time. Not in New Orleans. Not in L.A.
But you're getting big cash.
Not yet. So we get to New York. Somebody said go to New York. We took a Greyhound bus from Chicago to New York. And no, we took a train from Chicago to New York. We arrive in Penn Station and we come upstairs.
With the equipment.
Yeah, the drums and I had the most equipment. I'm the fucking drummer. They got like little trumpets and trombones and cases. They could just
why
carry
didn't
it.
you switch?
I didn't know how to play that. Yeah, I should have fucking played a harmonica.
I was going to say.
Slide it in my coat.
Did you ever think of any other music other than the drum?
Nope. I just twinkled around on the piano a little bit, just because it's a rhythmic instrument too. It's just like tapping your hands.
Yeah.
If you find the right keys, you can make a little melody.
But no, you're not dragging a piano to New York.
No, hell no.
Ever.
Yeah. We get off the train and we get upstairs, and this was the most people I had like ever seen in my life. Like at like 11 in the afternoon,
Just piling through.
It was so crazy. And our thing was we play at the most high foot traffic areas. That's where you can get the most money.
Yeah.
And at this time, this was just like right out of the train, and we were like, holy shit, let's just unpack and play. So we unpack and we're at Penn Station, and we unpacking and playing on the sidewalk. Sidewalk is like the size of this table, and you got a 9-piece, 12-piece band. Like,
so you're vertical.
Yeah, we're just in a straight line. Yeah, and
I'm thinking going away.
Yeah,
you can't go this way.
Yeah, no, we're just like our backs are against the wall of the train station, and so we set up and play. And 3 songs in, we got the crowd had stopped walking in the street, and there's like 400 people in a circle surrounding us.
Any of the cheap bastards giving you money?
Yeah, so like every we play a song, there's a big roar, and like we tell them to donate, and they would donate. And then we play a song, big roar, we tell them to donate, and they're donating. By like the third song, I had my drum bag out there. By the third song, it was like halfway full, and we was like, holy shit.
We're not leaving New York.
Nah, the third song we go into playing, and it's fat. It's funny. This fat New York cop busts through the crowd. He said, hey, what the fuck's going on over here? I was like, what the fuck? You got fucking trombones and trumpets and shit. You guys, who the fuck are you guys? Jackson State Marching Band? He's like, get this shit out of here. And to me, I was like, man, this is amazing. That was my like New York experience. Like that cop was like the cops you would see like on TV playing New York cops.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, these guys are
the real deal. Yeah, it's a real deal. So you should have given them some cash.
We should have even think about
That's
it.
That's a simple thing.
And New York cops are different too from Chicago cops. Chicago cops, when we would street perform, they would take our bucket and just throw the money in the street, or like yank your horn out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Chicago cops are different.
Yeah.
We were fighting Chicago cops at one time.
Oh, well, why not?
It was way different.
Well, they weren't real friendly when they came into your neighborhood.
No, Chicago cops are different.
Oh yeah.
But the New York was like an eye-opening experience, and then we were like splitting down $300 each a day. We were making like thousands of dollars on the street. Might have to edit this out. Just
you could go ahead. Well, whatever you want. It's pre-recorded, so if you say anything wrong,
but yeah,
we're wide open for let it rip if you want. That's up to you.
No, we were making on our donation bucket. We were probably making a couple thousand, and then we were also selling our music CDs. We had 3 CDs out at the time, and we were selling those at $15 and $20, and we would make 200 units each of those CDs, and we would sell them out like every day. And so we were selling out 600 CDs a day, plus our bucket money, and then we were splitting that money each every day, and we did that in New York for like 8 years.
Okay. So, did you ever like say, I'm better and you should give me more money?
Well, we knew we were better.
No, you.
Oh, me? Oh, well, yeah.
I'm only kidding, but if you ever say to like the horn guy, hey, horn guy, if you don't get your shit together, we're throwing your ass out and we're dividing the money by 8.
Well, no, it was always 8 against 1 because they were all brothers. Okay. And they had it was like a hierarchy type of, they had an alliance already. So there was nothing I could do. I would try to make alliances in between, with different brothers, but they would always get outvoted because it's 7 more
Divide
brothers.
and conquer.
Yeah. So I always was climbing up in that process with that group. And it got to a point where money issues arose, and then I finally left the group. It was like a point where we were doing even splits as a unit, and then it got to a point where they were like, yo, we're just going to pay you this amount for every show. And
Jackson 5.
Yeah. I was like, what? I built a lifestyle around all this
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you just can't take this cut. And we were about to go to Africa, and we were about to go to the airport, and we get to the airport, and I divert and book a flight to Seattle while everybody's booking their flight to Africa. And I hop on the Seattle flight while they're going to Africa.
And they're in the air.
Yeah, they're in the air.
Can't turn back now.
And I'm taking a 3-hour flight, and they're still flying. So by the time I get to Seattle, they're still in the air going to Africa.
Where are they going to Africa?
So we had a gig to play in Lagos, Nigeria at Femi Fela Kuti's event called The Shrine. And Femi Kuti is Fela Kuti's son. And I don't
know Fela Kuti. Who's Fela Kuti?
Fela Kuti is like the father of Afrobeat.
Oh,
and he's got like 100 wives.
And, nice job.
And so
join him.
You got to listen to his music. His music's dope. And he invented Afrobeat while visiting New York in like the 60s and 70s. He heard like the jazz and like the Miles Davis scene, and he was an African saxophonist. He was a multi-faceted instrumentalist, and then he heard that sound and took that sound that he heard in America back to Africa and kind of fused this African sound with this American sound, and it's known as Afrobeat now.
I don't know it, obviously.
Yeah, it's dope.
But you know, my one brother is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not for a player. He's on the board. He made a shitload of money, so he just gets to sit in anything. But he just loves music. He listens to it all the time. So anyway, he was saying the statistic around the world is this: whatever is the most popular African music, right? Whatever it might be, is the second on the charts all around the world. It just boom, you know. And it's like he said, it's just fascinating that, you know, if you look at it, it holds all around the world.
Yeah.
So whoever this guy is,
Yeah.
he probably drove something that came to the States.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and then gained all of a sudden this huge following.
Yeah.
Which is like so I'm like with rap, I'm like, so where did that? Well, that started, I think, in the U.S. cities.
Rap music?
Mm-hmm.
Man, rap music, I would say, goes back to like maybe the 1930s.
Oh, okay.
Because if you think about like scatting or
I don't know.
You said you don't know?
I don't know scatting. No.
Scatting, like scat music?
No, scat. No,
Yeah.
no, because I started, my brothers listened to the Beatles.
Yeah.
I didn't have some historical insight.
Yeah.
I just went with whatever was basically presented to me by my brothers. Other than when it got a little further along, and then I diverted into Bob Dylan. And they were a little bit like, you know, what are you doing with this guy? But the lyrics turned me on. You know, I would listen. My one older brother listened to it a lot. That's right. And he just would make me listen.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say rap. Now the cadence of rap, you can draw it back to maybe, you know, even Louis Armstrong. In between his horn playing, he would do like almost this spoken word type of poetry, and it was over a beat. You know, it rhymed, and so it's just rhyming. Rhyming turned to rap, and so it has a deep history. It kind of didn't start in like it got its. I would say it got its jump in like the late 70s. 80s and 90s. That's when it was like formally known as rap. Okay. But I think it's always been around.
Okay, so here's one. I was listening to some old music, you know, and they said it was a discussion of foul music in today's rap and how it offended people, right? So I was like, yeah, some of it does offend me.
Yeah.
But it strikes a chord with my daughters. So I think that's the thing about music. I would be thinking, what are they hearing?
You mean it strikes a chord how with your daughters? You mean they're interested in it, or they're like turned off?
That's about all they play.
Oh, okay.
If you come into our house now, other than the 31 and 30, you go under that, it's all rap.
Yeah, it's the beat, it's the feel of the music, it's the lyrical content of it. Cause you know, there's some rock and roll music that's like really fucked up and dark. And, you know, I think when it comes to the perception that people have possibly of black music, there's this negative connotation to it somehow.
That's not exactly uncommon in our particular world.
Because if you listen to Marilyn Manson or Ozzy Osbourne, nobody's like, oh, that
disgusting
Ozzy
son of a
Osbourne
bitch.
music is like he's biting heads off rats and shit. Nobody's like, God, my daughter won't listen. You
or
know
like
what I mean?
Frank Zappa. I was into Frank Zappa, and he would get pretty rude.
Yeah.
And then so anyway, back to that. First off, my band that was like touched me was the Clash, because they were shooting shit all over about living in England and fucking sucks and they're dickheads, and that was considered like my brothers would be like, that's asshole music.
Yeah.
Why are you listening to that? And it was like making me just like, I was loving it all.
Yeah.
But back to this story. So they're talking about today's rap.
Mm-hmm.
So you go all the way back
Mm-hmm.
to like 1920,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying this is not new.
Yeah.
So there's this, I got to get her name if you never heard her. This black woman singing. Mm-hmm. It is so foul.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, who cares? We're on it.
Yeah.
She's like, take that dick and put it in me.
I know what you're talking about.
I know that you're listening to it. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
and they're going, so
exactly
this is not new stuff, punching a hole in the culture. Do you know who she is?
I know exactly what you're talking about, though. I know the song you're talking about. I think we as the human race, we are into some crazy shit. It's almost like, car accidents, and you slow down and you want to see the goriness of it. You want to hear it. You want to be experienced.
I'm all over it.
Yeah. And so like that's a lane. I think when people found out that you can tap into it, they started to exploit it and use it for capitalism. You know what I mean? Yeah. How can I make money off of this? Hip hop gets this bad rap, and where you possibly think that connotation comes from.
Well, basically we're saying whatever it is, it's inner city, it's inappropriate, it doesn't fit the
King's
language.
The stigma of the group of people that's attached to it. You know what I mean? Because what happens is, what I noticed too, there's a lot of whataboutisms that happen. So like, if I watch the news and like something happens, a mass shooting happens, and Fox News does this a lot.
Oh yeah.
Lone gunman goes into store and shoots up all the black people, and then that's the story, and then the news anchor be like, well, what about Chicago? 17 people got shot today.
They jump right over
there. They gotta
there.
like tie it back to the more negative connotation or reach. You know what I mean? So the same could be said to hip hop, and
because the shooter is always a white guy.
Yes, definitely.
Like when I came out here, I was like, see, back in Philly and around there's, they're killing each other.
Yeah.
Right now, it's generally, right, like it's random, or it's just pissed off.
Yeah.
Out here, problem is you got the genius fucking guy who he's living right in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he's going down and he's just picking them off with a silencer. Mm-hmm. But he's doing good work.
Yeah.
He's in the neighborhood. Nobody knows it.
Yeah.
He's just some crazy fucking machinist.
Yeah.
So I think smart.
Yeah, you got white crime, you got black crime.
Yeah.
Black crime's a little bit more not thought out. It's random. White crime's really, really thought out. They think about that shit. They plan it. And then they got like, it's but yeah,
we're gonna skate somehow.
Yeah.
If you got money, you're gonna skate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, back now, enough of we're trying to beat into some social issue. It started off with rap.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah,
we can hit all the topics.
I had the classy music.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
So anyway, you were left with playing some music that we're all going to like later.
Yeah.
You were one step ahead, but we called you one step behind just because it was to our benefit. But anyway, so back to, you leave New York and you bolt to Seattle.
Yeah, bolt to Seattle.
Why?
Well, also at the time I had met a young lady, and she was from Seattle. So she was my girlfriend at the time while I was living in New York.
It's always a woman.
And yeah, it is. And then so she flew 4 months before my trip to Africa, my supposed trip to Africa, back to Seattle to have our daughter. This is my 15-year-old daughter now. And so she flew to Seattle with her mom and her grandma and their parents to have the baby. And I was just going to fly after I left from Africa to Seattle, and stay in Seattle for a while until she had the baby, fly back to New York where I was working. So, she was like, well, at the airport I called her. I was like, yo, I'm not fucking going to Africa. I'm coming to Seattle. She was like, okay, well, my brother works at Dairy Gold. You can get a job here.
Big money.
I was like, what the fuck? Sure. So I fly to Seattle. I don't get hired at Dairy Go for like 2 years, because the process. I was like, what the fuck, man? So
your girlfriend, you're like,
yeah, I was like, what the fuck,
tricked
man?
me.
I was just going to Legos. Shit. I was a rock star. I'm fucking a milkman. But yeah.
And not even.
Yeah, not even yet. Just waiting. So I fly to Seattle, and I was like, man, I got all this musical background. Let me I'm gonna get into like recording music. And then I actually met Brian Blash when I first got here.
Brian Blash of our studio.
Yeah.
Brian Blash.
Yeah. I met here through my girl's brother. They knew each other on the music
Brian
scene.
Blash is not cool.
Yeah. He was cool when I first got here because it was in this studio, which looks 1,000 times different.
No, wait, whoa. Let me pause.
Yeah.
When Brian's studio is kick ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's trashing it. Okay. He's saying some bad shit about it. When you first met him, it sucked.
Well, it wasn't as elaborate as it is now. He's got 17 rooms in here.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Studio A through J.
Right on.
It's a room full of mics, just mics alone. So, but yeah, he's came a long way. He's definitely consistent and hardworking. You can tell that, and you can hear it in his production and his music. He's a dope engineer. He's just not an engineer though. You know what I'm saying? He has all these other talents. But
back to being a milkman.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so I didn't get the job. So I started doing music, and then I just started going around to all the different scenes in Seattle, just trying to figure out what the music scene was. Is there a music scene here? And I started just, playing different jam nights and get my name circulated around in that industry. I started a bunch of different bands. I started like 8 different bands while I was out here in Seattle.
And what breaks it up? Just doesn't flow.
Yeah, personality types is always a key when you're getting with a group of people. If the personalities don't mesh up, tours also exposes personalities, because somebody in a room in a band rehearsal is totally different when you're in a van with them or on the road for 2 days. And their personalities really come out. And that tours usually break up bands.
Yeah.
Or it keeps them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just a lot of different sounds didn't work. Some did, some didn't. And then, so I just experienced that. And then I was like, man,
They went on a tour of Africa. You stayed in Seattle.
Yeah. And so, I did the Seattle music scene for a couple, like 7, 8 years. And then, like, as of probably like 2021, I was like, I'm just going to take my drums downtown Seattle and play outside. And I don't know.
Just like whatever,
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
You're thinking back to Chicago, New York.
Yeah, I didn't even think about doing it. And I was like, when I did it, 3 years ago, and the first day I went out there, I made $400 in like an hour. I was like, what the fuck
and
have I
not
been
divided
doing?
between anybody.
Yeah, it was a one-way split. I was like, why haven't I been doing this since
No
I
agent or
fucking moved
anything?
here? Nothing. No split, nothing. And so as of 3 years ago, I've been out on Pike Street playing it. And since being on Pike Street, I built a relationship with the city of Seattle.
But wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
This shit did not go straight.
Oh, no.
No, because I read something about getting all sorts of shit. You should be off the street.
Yeah. So when I first got out there, it was fine. And then all of a sudden, I started getting mail from the city. And it was intense. It was like a photo of me playing on the street with a timestamp on it.
Oh,
and then
they're getting you.
It was a fine attached to it. I was like, what the fuck is this? I ripped it up.
Oh, yeah. Out of here.
This is not even a real thing. And then like they started stacking up to the point where it was like $6,000 in fines.
Fuck.
And then my justification
you think
was
you're back in Chicago.
Yeah, you didn't even get fined in Chicago. But
they just threw your money out.
Yeah, but I looked at the rules because every city we went to, also we're black. You got 9 black guys on the corner. You have to find out what the laws are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so we would always research what the laws are and how we can do it. But Seattle didn't have any permitting type of structure. It was like, you can't street perform at a bus stop within 50 feet. If you do, you have to reach out to Sound Transit to get a permit. And so on First and Pike, there's no bus stop there for like another 300 feet. So I was good. It's like a loophole zone.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm playing there, and they're sending me fines. I'm like, I'm not doing anything illegal. So I was like, fuck those fines. Also, I'm bringing all these people together, all these walks of life together. Everybody's enjoying themselves, high-fiving, dancing.
I saw some of those videos. People dancing all over the place.
I'm bringing the city together. I'm actually changing the mentality of what downtown Seattle is. Because if you go 3 blocks up in the other direction, it is fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like zombies.
Yeah. Well, that's for sure. Plus, it's just not. Well, if you get up on Cap Hill, maybe you start seeing it, or Queen Anne.
Yeah.
But there's not a massive flow of people running around there other than Pike Place.
Yeah, Pike's Place is a #1 tour. It's like a tourist destination. And so my thing with the city was like, how am I at the top of you guys' priority list on cleaning up the streets? Like, if I'm at the top of your list, we're fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's way bigger problems you guys can be focusing on. And cops would come, and then the head of the downtown transit, not the head of the Downtown Transit Association, DTA.
Yeah.
They're like, lead marketing lady comes out and hands me, a fine. And I'm like, how am I your focus? I did some digging. There's a resident building right under where I play, and some people in that building knew that lady. So they're like, we hate this guy.
Oh, it does a circle. It's all a circle.
And so like they get a little cohort of people in that building that reaches out to this lady, and they're bombarding her with emails to the point she comes out of her office to hand me a citation. And
out of her office?
Yeah. Whoa! Like this isn't like normal. Mm-hmm. This isn't by any means normal. And the crazy thing is, how the fuck did they find my home address?
CIA and shit.
That's crazy.
Google knows where we are. Hey, Google, what's up?
Yeah, like that was nuts. Because when I got the first citation, I was like, how? Because there's nothing out there that says Chris Anderson on Google and my home address. So like
you figure it out.
Yeah, they figured it out. They figured it out. And also the only reason I was out there is because I seen this piano guy playing on that
I know
same
that
corner.
guy. Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, his name's Jeffrey Circus. And then me and him got into an incident that was like really
the two of you.
Yeah. I set up my drums on First and Pike. First and Pike's a prime location for street musicians or just businesses in that area. And so I would get there super early in the morning just to hold that spot down, plant my flag. Mm-hmm. And so I would beat him, and that was usually his regular spot. But the rules of street performing is first come, first serve. Sure. If you're there, it's your spot. So I would beat him, and he started noticing I was beating him. And this day in particular, he was like, fuck it. I don't care if you were here first. I'm going to set my stuff up. So he sets his stuff up. I'm like, bro, don't do this, man. Please.
This is a bad move.
Yeah.
This is a bad move.
He pulls out a weapon.
Get out.
And he starts coming at me with the weapon.
What's a weapon? Smack you? Knife?
It was like those sticks that you like slap down and it like extends.
It wasn't like those things really wrap.
It starts out really small and then you whip it out and it's something Batman would use if you needed to.
Star Wars.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And he's like, get away from me. He said something about the law. I'll prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. That was his word. And I pull out my gun. I said, now you done fucked up, buddy. He was like, wait a minute, dude. Wait a minute. And that was fucked up too, man, because the cops come. Man, the cops.
Oh, no.
This was the fastest police response I had ever seen in my life. Bro, they were there. They had blocked off 3 streets. And then they were coming at me in like tactical team, SWAT team formation. And like I see this all happening. I see it happening. And I'm on my phone with police letting them know like, hey, you guys might have got a call on me, but my gun's like put away. I'm not trying to get shot on First and Pike.
And you had all the shit, or was it a bad gum you're allowed to have, or did you?
I had my permits. I had my concealed carry permit. Mm-hmm. So like, I could conceal and carry it. And I was legal. Even if I would have did something and to protect myself that day, like I was in the right. Because even in
try and prove that.
Well, you're a black man. Even in protecting yourself, you're guilty.
Boom.
Get on the ground. But yeah, man. So the cops came and but as they were coming in their SWAT team tactical formation, I'm talking to the dispatch lady and I'm like, yo, I'm complying. Anything you guys need me to do, like I'm gonna do it. Like my gun's not on me, and I can hear my conversation coming over there like radios as they're coming toward me.
Oh, fuck.
And so like it actually eased their like stance, and like one of the sergeants that were with him, kind of like put everybody's guns down, and he walked over to me and he was like, just come over here and sit in the car. It was crazy because you got a 6-group tactical formation with like a Humvee following them slowly. This is in the middle of fucking Pike Street. I'm so glad somebody recorded that incident because that was crazy.
Well, you could lose your life.
Yeah, he could have lost his life.
Yeah. But I mean, if they get you, it's going to be
me too. Yeah, that too. That's
the one I'm worried about.
Me too. That's why I had to call the cops, let them know, like, hey, I'm the victim here. Sure thing, buddy.
How many people would come out from public to know that you were going to get shot like 6 or 7 times? You said about Woodinville. Half would come out for a hanging.
Yeah.
Half would come out for a head chop off.
Yeah.
How many would come out for the SWAT team to light you up?
Yeah. More than half. More than half. Because everybody in Pike's Place had their camera out while this was all going on. Because it had stopped everything. It was quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, we got it all squared away with the cops. They took my gun away for 6-7 months. Okay. And I got it back and everything.
That guy who was trying to smack you didn't find out about you not having the gun.
Oh, he found out that day not to fuck.
Yeah.
Or to go get him a gun or something. Like a stupid slapstick.
Yeah, that's right. What the fuck is this? It's like whatever that shit. What was it? Sean Connery? I can't remember that.
No, you're talking about Indiana Jones.
No. Sean Connery, where the Italian guy comes up to him, right, with like some kind of a gun. And he says, something like, typical of a stupid guinea. Oh, no. He has a knife. He says, typical of a stupid guinea, showing up here without a weapon. And they they yank out the guns and just light up Sean.
Shit.
Which you're like, fuck. I didn't want Sean Connery going down. He's supposed to be like, what is he? James Bond.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get out of this. But now he's loaded up with lead.
Not that
so anyway, back to, so the cops are they're cool. The cops have calmed down.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So after that incident happens, I disappeared from downtown for a while because I'm
undercover.
This is going crazy.
Change your name, go undercover.
Yeah, no. And then I move up the street to T-Mobile Park, the Mariners games, and now I'm exclusively only playing outside of the Mariners stadium. And I built the buzz back up. And then after every Mariners game, win or lose, there's like this big ass dance party right out in front of the Mariners.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so the Mariners take interest in that and build a relationship with them, and then they invite me back into the stadium or in the stadium, and I'm playing inside of the stadium during the games, and so like that's really cool. And so
did you get to know any of the players?
Nah, not really. This was toward the end of the season where we were almost possibly 7 teams had to lose and 1 team had to win to get in the playoffs. That whole shit. Yeah. And so so that happens, and then a couple months after that, this organization called the Downtown Seattle Association reached out to me and like, hey, we want to shoot this tourism commercial about Seattle. Can you come back to First and Pike so we can shoot the commercial? And I was like, well, shit. Can you holler at the Downtown Transit Association to get these fines off me? And I'll possibly shoot the commercial. And so they were like, well, we'll see what we can do, but we're actually in charge of giving street permits now. I said, all right, if I do this commercial with you guys, I want immunity. If I want to set up on top of the Space Needle, I can set up on top of the Space Needle. They were like, all right, Chrissy, come on. And I shot the commercial with them. So that kind of got all the heat off of me for if I want to go play anywhere in Seattle, really. So
okay, so now you're safe. Now, you went off and played with some people. Of course, I don't know the names of them because they're just not my crowd. But I'm sure our listeners would know. Yeah.
Back when I was with Hypnotic Brass Ensemble, we were in New York. So New York was like this hub of all entertainment and life and stuff like that. So we met a lot of different people, A-list artists in New York. We met Erykah Badu. She was just standing in front of us one day listening to us, and she invited us to the studio to play with her. And she gave us some money to play on a song called Honey. We met Mos Def, which was I got a bunch of different stories about Mos Def. He was a super fanboy of us. This was back before internet was popping. It was just probably just like MySpace. And like hand-to-hand flyers. And we were doing so many like exclusive shows just randomly all over New York. He would like pop up at these shows and we'd be like, how the fuck did you find us?
But good.
Yeah, like so he was like following us. And I remember we met Dave Chappelle one time. He was in the park on West 4th with his son. And he was like, man, I know about you guys. Mos Def gave me your vinyl record. We were listening to you guys at my house. We was like,
Chappelle.
holy shit. Yeah.
He is something. I love that guy.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's awesome, man. Dave Chappelle's cool. And we got an opportunity. We met the Gorillaz manager. She was on vacation with her family. And she was like, you guys should come over to London and work with Damon Albarn. And we didn't know who, we didn't know who Damon Albarn was. And we were like,
to London, though.
Yeah. Like, if you pay for it, we'll go anyway. Our motto was, if you pay, we play. And
well, that's not exactly, I sold bags. I'll give anybody a bag. Just pay.
So, they flew us out to London, and we did a bunch of studio work with them. And then they flew us back to New York, and then they flew us back to London, and we rehearsed 2 months for a tour that we were going to go on with them. And then we went around and did this global tour with the Gorillaz, and it was pretty awesome. It was dope. Yeah, we were in Amsterdam, like Dublin, London, like we went to Portugal, back over here to the U.S. It was some stops in like Japan,
and obviously they're picking up the money and all this.
Yeah, they're paying us good. They're paying us they're paying us good. They're paying us. And so like that was cool. But also that was in the time of where I was in this period with the band where they were like, we're just going to pay you this set amount. So there was a lot of tension and heat there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like that tour could have changed my life financially if I was getting a full cut. And so that there was tension there, and so like that just kept piling up, and different opportunities was kept showing up till I was like, man, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. You know what I mean?
So done.
Yeah.
And then didn't you? I thought you played with somebody else that had a big name. I'm trying to remember. Maybe that I know. No, maybe that
we did some production for Kanye West and Mary J. Blige. We scored it with the Hunger Games, the movie, took one of our songs we produced on our albums and they put it inside of their movie.
Do you get money for that?
Did we get paid for that? Yeah, we got paid for that. What we should have did was ask for points on the song.
There we go.
Royalties.
Well,
what I mean?
Yeah, well.
But the music industry ain't going to tell you shit to help you. They were like, hey, you want to play a song? And then, here's a couple $1,000. And then there's... And especially if you don't got like the proper representation with you on your end. And we were young, so we didn't, we thought we knew it all. And then all the managers we did bring in, they would do shit and we would like fire them. I remember we fired a manager in London, because
was it? How dare you?
Yeah, we found out he was bootlegging our vinyl records and like selling them all over London. And then somebody brought us a record one day to a show, and it was a cover that we didn't fucking come out with.
Uh-oh.
We're like, where'd you get this record from? They're like, oh, we got it on Portobello Road at this record store. We're like, what the fuck is this? We signed it anyway. And we're like, actually, can we buy this from you?
You know
like,
what?
Here's the real record.
You know that.
Yeah, let us have this.
Pulling a gun out.
Yo.
Just light it on fire.
Yeah.
Now,
so we brought it to him. Like, what the fuck is this, man? He's like, times got rough, and like we was like, man, get the fuck out of here. We bought him a plane ticket and fucking sent them back to New York and shit.
Oh, New York City, not exactly a fun crowd.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now it's no, what I'm trying to come up with my thoughts together here. So now you're in Seattle.
Yeah.
Why don't you run it up and down the line? Go to Portland, go to Los Angeles, go to San Francisco. I'll be your manager.
I'm never going to Portland.
I'll take a cut on it,
I'm never.
I get to run.
I could take what I'm doing elsewhere. Just because I've done street performing professionally in like every major U.S. city, so I know the rules of doing it, and I could do that. I have a base here now, and there's nothing saying that I can't do it. I can do it. I'm never going to Portland, though. I got shot in Portland. Like 5-6 years ago. The crazy thing is I grew up born and raised in Chicago. How violent Chicago is. Lived in New York, went to New Orleans, lived in New Orleans. How violent New Orleans is. To get fucking shot in Portland, Oregon was nuts to me. That was crazy.
For what? I just...
So I was DJing a show, and this drunk guy in the venue kept asking me to play songs. And I'm like, nah, man, and the song requests were terrible. Like, if they were good, I was like, okay, I got you. And he started throwing money at me. And so, like, he's belligerent, he's drunk, and I tell security to get this guy out of here. So he gets into an altercation with security, and they, like, throw him out of the club, and he waits for me outside when I'm packing my car up, and he walks up to me and shoots me, like, point blank.
Where?
He was aiming for my heart, right? And so at the last minute, I turned, just like this, and so the bullet goes through my elbow, out my elbow, into my lung, through my liver, and then stops in the bottom of my heart. It's still in my heart right now. It's resting. It's called the pericardium. It's like this sac that holds the heart in place.
Fuck.
And so, yeah, he fucked me. I got fucked up. And so I was in the hospital in ICU for like a week. And yeah. And then I went to Portland. When I got out of the hospital, I went to Portland for a month straight looking for that guy.
Oh, I would. I
was like John Rambo off his medication.
All the hat, everything.
Yeah, I had to forgive that guy. I still don't forgive him though. And mentally, I had to move on. But I was angry. I was upset.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up. Forgiveness is a big fucking thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to say, now maybe I'm going to bet there's going to be a fair level of non-forgiveness when the big guy takes you home.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but,
yeah.
I don't know if I could get over that one.
Yeah.
Getting shot.
Yeah, that was crazy to me.
That must have hurt. I always wonder, like, fucking hurts, right?
Yeah. I got shot in front of Voodoo Donuts because that's where my car was parked. And so when he shot me, I, like, hit the ground and I, like, jump back up and I grab him. I said, when I hit the ground and I jump up and I'm looking to see where he shot me and I can't see it. Because in that second, it was a flash and I was definitely facing him. But in a split second, my body turned and covered up my organs.
That's the linebacker. That's the linebacker.
Which is crazy because, like, if you go to tickle somebody, they'll block their organs or wherever they are that you're going to tickle them at involuntarily. You go to, like, fake punch a person, they'll, like, flinch and, like, block their, so involuntarily my body, like, protected my organs. Yeah, and that was the thing that saved my life because it slowed down the trajectory. Even at that angle where the bullet stopped was still at my heart, but if I didn't turn, it would have definitely went through my heart and probably killed me. Yeah. And so I grabbed the guy. I said, motherfucker, did you just shoot me? And his eyes got, like, big and he just, like, took off running. Now, I'm thankful for, like, I look back on it and I'm thinking, was that guy a killer or was he just, this was his first time? Because if he was a killer, like shit I know in Chicago, he probably would have emptied that clip on me right there. He could have shot more than once, and that would have really did me in. But him just
if he
shooting
shot
once,
you and it's a federal offense, and you're going to the big house, we'll load it up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But
yeah. What's important is you protect yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Exercise your rights. Apply gun safety. But, like, I think after that incident, I got a gun. I got it. Yo, I got so many guns now. I only got 2 hands, but shit.
They have all these gun rules,
yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck that. First off, if you said no guns, most of the kids that are running around with guns, they're not like, they're not registered.
Did you hear that new rule that the police said? They said no guns, man. They're not going to do it. Yeah. It's the ones that abide by the rules are the
screwed.
Ones. Yeah.
So, like my neighborhood, they're loaded up with guns.
I believe you.
I don't have a gun.
Yeah.
My dad was always just like, we're just outside of Philly, and he was just like, no fucking way. Mm-hmm. No fucking way.
Yeah.
We know you're going to get killed or kill somebody.
Yeah.
So it was just 2 things. No guns, no motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
And then my one brother was running around in our neighborhood on Halloween with a BB gun.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just picking off. He was trying to hit bags
Yeah.
to make them, all the candy fall out.
Shit.
And he was hide behind things, like pop, pop, pop. And finally, needless to say, the cops caught him. And I remember him coming home. And, you think your dad's so strong.
Yeah.
So he takes the BB gun. He goes, boom, right over his leg.
Yeah.
And he's like, you fuckers, and you goddamn it. And we'd never heard him. He didn't curse like that.
Yeah.
I didn't, thank God I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh my God, the stories from my brother. He broke the gun right over his knee. It's one of these like,
yeah.
$30 BB guns. Yeah. But we all thought it was cool. We all thought it was a smart move. Like picking off the bags.
Yeah, that's almost cheese.
That's thinking. Yeah. But anyway, so now back to you get shot.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah,
we're not happy. We get in the Rambo outfit, searching for the man.
Yeah, and then I just like one night I'm like, this is ridiculous. I got like fucking binoculars. I got like coffee, fucking Subway sandwiches. I got
night
6 ARs in the bag. I can't use 6 ARs at one time. You know what I mean? I'm in all black. I got ski mask. I got gloves. I was gonna get that guy though. I was gonna get his ass. I had it planned out. I was going to take him to the woods and keep him alive. I'm trying to figure out how to keep him alive.
That's good. I started thinking about once when my daughters were young, I thought, first I realized I could kill somebody. Yeah. Right away. I realized, okay. I realized I would take a bullet.
Yeah.
I thought, if it came down to it, of course, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever thought about that. So then they were like 7 or 8, maybe 10, still little girls. Well, even if they were big girls, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I come in. And some guy is sexually assaulting her.
Mm-hmm. He's got to go.
Yeah, he got to go. But he's going to go slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to beat the shit out of him somehow over his head.
Yeah.
Goes down to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to keep him alive
we have to.
For a long time.
For a long time, as long as we can.
Yeah, so we're going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, we got to feed him.
Yeah, cut him. Right? Let him lie there with this festering wound.
Yeah.
Then I started thinking to myself, I've got this thing down. So now, wait a minute. The cops come. They find out about this guy somehow. Some asshole in the neighborhood tips him off. So now I got the almost dead guy, but now he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I explained to them he was, trying to rape my daughter, and it's just a crime of passion.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, but Mark, he's been down here for 7 days, and you've been chopping him up.
Well, I'm busy. I got work, I got my daughter's soccer practice.
Yeah. It's hard, and I can't, if I shoot him in front of the kids, that's not right.
Yeah, no. I think what I think when I look back in that Portland situation, I think the cops could have done a better job. Cause when I was doing my Batman research and I was deep diving into the situation. I had went back to the scene of the crime. And there was cameras everywhere. There was a camera on the door of Voodoo Donuts pointing to where I got shot. There was a camera on the light pole shooting right down on where I got shot. There was cameras all around. And like, you couldn't find, the assailant. And then the detectives was like, well, the footage was grainy. We tracked him back to the club. We see him in the club having an argument. And I'm like, how do you can't find this guy? And then like the shit kicked in. Like, maybe if I was a white college team or a college student, they would have found that guy that night.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the news report, they were like, gangbangers exchange gunfire. I didn't have a fucking gun.
They gotta sell papers.
I'm not a gangbanger either. I got fucking $4. Fucking drummer. So that was all like fucked up, and I had to holler at my homegirl in New York. She was a publicist, and I was like, "Man, can you get out in front of this story and like let's tell the truth about it?" Because they had already drawn up that it was gang related. I mean, even being in the hospital, detectives come in and like throw these files on my. It was crazy. They come in the hospital room and like slap these files on my leg, and it was like, "Which one of these guys did it?" And I'm flipping through the phone. I'm like, "None of these guys." Just pick one of them so you got coffee in an hour.
Well, that's what they're doing, black guys. Come on.
Just pick one. We got my car's running outside. What the fuck, man? And at that point, I was like, because I was like, man, They can catch this guy. They can find this guy. But when that happened, I was like, fuck this, man. The vigilante justice shit kicked in. And that's when Batman mode was like, I'm going to find this guy. Well, and then I was okay with if I got caught or going to jail, because like that guy doesn't need to be on the street, and if he didn't get caught, like he's out there feeling like he's Superman and he can do this again, and that turns into a reoccurring thing that fucks up society.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Okay, we have all these altruistic things.
Yeah.
You wanted to kill the fucking guy.
Yeah, 100%. He tried to kill me over what song to play.
So then you have to turn it into it's a societal thing.
Well, that guy's still on the streets. Yeah, it's Batman syndrome. You know what I mean?
I love that.
I understand Batman now. 1,000%.
Tint the windows, black
man,
car.
Like shit, man. These guys need some justice.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I can laugh about it, but that shit's not funny.
Yeah, real
that
talk.
Is not. That's
real
very
talk.
Scary. I never lived in that kind of environment.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah.
So now let's get past all that.
Okay.
So now in the last, let's say, year or so, what's been going on?
So in the last year or so, I've started a management company.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Helen House Management.
Let's say that again.
Helen House Management.
And does it got a helenhousemanagement.com?
Not yet. And Helen was my mom's middle name, and how she managed her house was like really, by the book and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've got an opportunity to manage different ventures. One with the Downtown Seattle Association. We're actually in every Friday in July coming this summer. I've been given the opportunity to curate a music festival every Friday in July. Cool. And so it's going to be downtown Seattle in Westlake Park, where they do the tree lighting ceremony. Yep. It's going to be really big every Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. And so I'm managing that this summer. I'm also working with this company called Vivid Presents, and they're an entertainment company out of Seattle. And they do live music events and immersive music experiences. And so I've been working with them. I've also been doing my Pike Street Drummer stuff off and on. Yeah, and I'm about to open up a retail clothing store in Pacific Place Mall in April.
So you have had a little cash buildup.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm sitting across from Mick Jagger. Yeah, well, good for you. Yeah. Good for you. So anyway, back to a quick touch on your children. I think that's. Yes. I'm sure they're the love of your life. So
yes, my 4 daughters. Let me remember their names. Christian, Kyoko, Kiyomi, and Kayla. Yeah.
You like the K's.
Yeah.
And what's their age?
21, 15, 11, and 9. And then I also have a son, a stepson, Kydrick.
Okay. A lot of K's.
Yeah. We just kept it going with the K's.
Yeah.
And Kydrick's 15 as well. Yeah.
15-year-old women.
Yeah, they're different.
Oh.
The 21-year-old's different.
Oh, yeah. You got it. I used to tell people, I don't know. Somehow keep talking to them.
Yeah.
Just keep talking to them. They'll fucking stare at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
But people told me how how fucked up it was with kids, and oh my God, I lost them. They're gone. You walk in the door and you're just like, at times I walked in and I said, I'm going to leave the wife and the kid. I'm fucking out of here. Yeah. Get my car, get about 3 blocks, and where the hell am I going to go?
Yeah.
But anyway, they have a whole different. The brain is different.
Yeah, 1,000%.
This whole thing, men and women. I'm like, well, let me tell you what. You live with 5 women.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of difference.
Yeah, my 10-year-old Google checks me if I try to tell her some shit.
That's not fair.
Yeah,
no, she's smart.
That's not true, Dad. I'm like, yes, it is. Give me the fucking phone. I'm your dad. Listen to me.
Smash.
Like, yo. My youngest.
But they never understand. They never understand the reality of men.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Yeah.
I had a 15-year-old. I was driving in the car with her, trying to the birds and the bees, and I'm messing it all up. But young men, sometimes they think a little different. You know,
Yeah.
maybe if they hold your hand, they're thinking of kissing you.
Yeah.
If they kiss you, they're thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Turns to me straight up, Dad, it's not that way anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought, no different.
Yeah.
They're just getting like lambs to the slaughter.
Yeah.
You know, just they're going to walk right into that meat grinder.
It's different because I took my 15-year-old daughter shopping for school, and the shit she's picking out, I'm like, you're gonna be freezing. Like, where's the rest of this material? Like, you're wearing this to school? Like, all the time? She's like, Dad, everybody wears this. I'm like, you're not wearing this shit to school. Like, let's get some. And the clothing items is like $150 for like a T-shirt. I said, you know how many items of clothes you can get for $150?
Go to TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wear that. You're sending me $300 hoodies. I like, this is ridiculous.
We could cut this off.
Yeah.
But girls can get at you.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like if you spoil them, because you were their first boyfriends, like all the other guys have to compete after us.
There we go.
So, I give them what they want. I give them the freedom that they want. I was telling my daughter's mom, like, you can't like keep her caged up like a bird, because when she gets out, she's gonna fucking fly.
But then let's circle them back. We keep missing the last freaking question.
It's okay.
Why the hell are you doing this?
It pays, man. I'm not gonna even lie to you. It pays really good, and I have a passion for it. I've worked a bunch of shitty jobs that I hated. There's a lot that comes with street performing, but I deal with a lot of shit. But the joy that people are having while paying me is like unmatched. Like there's a different type of energy you get when after the applause that's unmatched. There's no drug that can like match it. Mm-hmm. It's addictive, and the experiences are addictive. The money's addictive, I use it to advance myself. And my plan is to have some resources set up for my daughters, and my son, if they don't want to go to college, they can just either take over this business, or if they want to go to college, they can go to college. But it shouldn't just be this one way to life, and this is how you got to do it.
No.
I was telling my son, he just video games all day. I was like, man, go to the military, fly drones. I was like, this is video gaming all day, and they pay you for it.
Yeah. You ever see those things on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'm like, boom, boom,
like
boom.
That. Like, man, you're sitting in a lazy boy with a controller on your lap, blowing up people overseas that are bad guys. I said, man, they pay you to do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you want to go to college, they'll pay for your college, help you get a small business loan, your first time house loan. I said, this is the way. I said, I didn't have a dad that told me this could be an option.
Yeah.
I was like, listen to me, man. He's like, okay, Dad, I'll think about it, as he goes back to playing Fortnite for free.
Yeah. So look, I think you go bang on these drums.
Okay, yeah, cool. This is great.
And I don't know. Thanks for coming in.
All right, brother.